Am I reading this right? Nintendo just confirmed that they're holding back Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom even longer. And enough with the Switch 2 talk for now. Let's talk about something that's leaked for the current Nintendo Switch, a really cool update that should be dropping soon. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Hope you're all doing fantastic. And today is all about things that we can have soon. Nintendo Switch 2 is lurking and leaking and all over out there. A lot of interesting discussion. If you missed yesterday's videos, pretty crazy stuff from Doug Bowser on surprises for the new hardware, and then a really interesting leak about the way Nintendo might be leveraging artificial intelligence as the new gimmick for Switch 2. But for today, let's sit down and focus on the Switch we know so dear and so well. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hit that like button if you enjoy these videos. Nearly at 500 episodes. That makes me 500 episodes of Good Morning Mario is one heck of a cool achievement, and what's also a cool achievement is Breath of the Wild 2, aka Tears of the Kingdom, aka the game Nintendo does not want to ever do anything with. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is the biggest release of the Switch generation, and yet Nintendo is keeping it incredibly close to the chest with less than 2 months till this game's launch. Less than 8 weeks until Tears of the Kingdom is in our hands, and they have said hardly anything. We have not had a direct. That OLED console that's rumored is nowhere to be found. And even at the last direct, the Zelda portion was bite-size. They're keeping everything about this game super under wraps. But we figured that once we got closer, like 2 months, month and a half, 6 weeks, that we would get to know more about the game. That the marketing movement would enter full swing and it would be a parade of Tears of the Kingdom. Well, it looks like those tears will stay dry for longer, because Nintendo has confirmed that Tears of the Kingdom will not have any presence at PAX East. Now, PAX East is coming up as a big gaming convention, and these conventions are sort of really gathering steam again after much of the pandemic fervor has sort of quieted down in many parts. But Nintendo will not be bringing their tentpole, humongous game to the show. I wasn't expecting this game to be playable on the show floor. That's probably asking too much. But considering that Nintendo dedicated their entire E3 2016 booth to Zelda Breath of the Wild, you'd think they could at least throw up a kiosk with a trailer and a statue. You'd think maybe they could tie in a new info dump to the big convention event. No. PAX East 2023 goes from March 23rd to March 26th. That means coming into the week of March 27th, there still will be nothing about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. That gives us just about 5.5 weeks for the game to come out, and we know hardly anything. This is one of the strangest releases for Nintendo, because it's not that they've been silent before. They have sort of taken their time and announced, oh, Paper Mario and the Origami King, boom, folding your way in just a few months. But when it comes to a massive title like this, something in the vein of Zelda or Mario, they really like to hype it up for a long time. I mean, Nintendo has hyped up Tears of the Kingdom for years now, since back in 2019, but in terms of an actual reveal of what the heck the game is, I'm now wondering if maybe Nintendo is just going to leave it this low key. Maybe they know that the sales will be there, the intrigue is humongous, and they don't have to say anything. In some ways, this could be leading to the coolest release for Nintendo Switch, and frankly for any modern video game console. How many huge first-party exclusive titles do you know that come out and don't really say hardly anything? They've got some sizzle trailers that convey a mood, basic ideas, a few new mechanics, tidbits that tie back into the previous title, but don't really show much. How many games approach their launch without a developer deep dive, a long gameplay walkthrough, some sort of big blowout at a universal event? The answer is none. Games are known, just like movies, well before their release, and we see trailer after trailer, marketing beat after marketing beat to make the game as accessible to potential customers as possible. And maybe all Zelda needs is a sword, a Triforce, and a title. I expect them to do something before launch, but as more and more time progresses, I start to wonder, like, maybe there is no direct. Maybe there is no big overview trailer. Maybe Nintendo is trying something very special. in the same way that original Legend of Zelda players experienced, where you get the game and you explore. If the world is as packed and mighty, as large as Doug Bowser and others claim, that the $70 price tag is actually hiding a humongous game that could only be contained by 7-0, then maybe this is like the coolest thing we've ever experienced. Maybe this is going to be May 12th for the ages, one of the greatest moments gaming's ever had, where we get a game that we have to uncover and peel back piece by piece as we explore the world. The fervor around that would be exhilarating. The streams, the videos, the game plan, the friends, the calls, the texts, the community would just be a buzz. And now I'm sort of hoping that Nintendo does just that. Ditch the Direct, forget the overview. If you're skipping PAX East, if it's going to be April, let's just take the last few weeks and say, okay then, we will wait and we'll play. And it'll be even more worth it for $70 whole because nothing is spoiled. A spoiler-free launch, now that's something cool, but I'll keep you posted if Nintendo changes their plans. Right now, though, it's just nothing. It's just, what else? I mean, Pikmin at PAX East? Indie games, probably. Indie games, because Nintendo won't announce anything. They got nothing to say about a new console, and Zelda is apparently so tightly under wraps, not even the biggest scissors held by the largest gorilla could cut through what's locking this game down. Now then, Nintendo ain't so locked down on another front, which is the current system and its current online. Nintendo Switch Online has recently added Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, and I think that ups the ante considerably. And they added their first game last week in Metroid Fusion. Fantastic adventure. Looks like there's more where that came from. Screenshots have been data mined out of Nintendo Switch Online GBA app, indicating and showing Metroid Zero Mission. Now, if you're not familiar, Metroid Zero Mission is a wonderful redux of the first Metroid game, and in many ways, the best way to experience the original classic. It's not too much of a surprise that Nintendo would bring this game to GBA, but it's interesting to see that these screenshots were left in there, and it showcases the usage of the link cable. Now, if you connected Metroid Fusion to Metroid Zero Mission, you were able to unlock additional scenes and extra endings, and that is a nifty feature that would be fun to implement in Switch Online. In fact, hackers, leakers, whatever you want to call them, mischief makers last year found linking between Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green in the GBA app, even though those games are not in there, even though those games have not been announced, even though we don't know if they're coming. So clearly Nintendo has activated the link cable functionality, and that just adds one more layer of fun to helping this be the best place to play many of these GBA games. We know that they incorporated multiplayer with stuff like Mario Kart, and bringing in more link cable functionality, pretty cool. Now, will Metroid Zero Mission be the next title? I've seen some sites reporting like maybe this is the next GBA Online game, and I frankly think that's very, very unlikely. They just had Metroid Fusion, so to back it up in April with Metroid Zero Mission seems silly. If we look at the games that Nintendo had sort of announced, the first was Metroid Fusion, and if you go in order, it would be Kirby coming up next. They also showcased Fire Emblem, F-Zero, and Golden Sun, so frankly it could be any of those, but if you believe in their order, it was Fusion, and then Kirby. I don't know, I'm feeling like maybe they will flip-flop a bit, given that Kirby just came out in March, maybe save some time and put Kirby later in the year. If they really wanted to line things up, they would have gone Kirby Switch re-release, Game Boy Advance Kirby in March, but they went Metroid in March, which tells me there's not really a tried and true plan here, or rather there's not just a line between releases and GBA. I'm going to say F-Zero is the next one. F-Zero is the next one. That would be a fun game, and we do know that Nintendo supposedly is doing something with this F-Zero. That's what leakers have got us to believe all the way back with the good old Silex Hunter, and Nate Drake have indicated as much. Could there be some sort of small F-Zero announcement tied to F-Zero hitting GBA? I hope for it, but I'd take Golden Sun as well. And honestly, I mean, even Metroid Zero Mission, if that was to be the game, bring it on. More GBA titles is only a good thing. And now we know another to add to their small list that will soon be mighty. I hope that they keep this consistent. I hope they do one per month like they did on 64. And I hope they don't alternate with GB, because we definitely need to build up this library to make Switch Online even sweeter. But let me know what you think. Do you want another Metroid on Switch right away? Or would you prefer Kirby, F-Zero, Golden Sun, Fire Emblem? Hit me up with what you want in the comments down below, and let me know what you think about Nintendo just being all quiet on every front for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Silent at PAX, silent permanently, perhaps. The coolest game launch ever? We'll have to wait and see. Until that time, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.